is 7:03 and we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so if everybody can please turn off their phones, make sure everything's off. Can I have a show of hands of anybody recording the meeting? Okay. All right. We will do roll call. Ron Barilla. John Lee Carmona is absent and excused. Mary Jakeway. Here. Marcel Lalonde.
Yes. Zoom.
And Bob Lavoie.
Yeah.
Okay. So proof of the notice of the meeting was posted in the office, clubhouse, and annex and was emailed to everyone on November 7th. The first item we have is approval of the minutes from the prior meeting. They have been sent out. This was the minutes from the meeting on September 23rd. And they have been sent out to all of the board members for review. So can we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Mary Jakeway and Bob seconded it. Any questions on those minutes from the board? No? All right, so we will vote. Ron?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Marcel?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Joanne. Okay. All right, and we'll start with the treasurer's report.
Okay, so the treasurer's report is going to cover from April till October. So we've combined, instead of doing all individual items, we've combined them into groups. So we issued 8 payments to All Star Plumbing for a total of $20,592.72. We did 24 payments to Loyal Electric for pedestals, totaling $143,473. We did 2 payments to Stormwater Engineering for the canal issue, $31,525. We did 2 payments to Valbridge Property Appraisal for $16,000. 4 payments to Armor All Pickleball, $7,000 for zoning unexpected, $44,425. 1 payment to IRS tax installment for CD interest earned in the amount of $10,892. 1 payment to Atlas Engineering for the water project, $22,080. 1 payment to R.O. Smith Boat Lot Grading for $7,000. 2 payments to EDL for gate repair, $13,062. 2 payments to AOA Construction for the clubhouse doors, $29,245. 1 payment to CK Lock Shop card sensor replacement for $1,171.65, and 1 payment to Perfectly Pure Pools for filter replacement, $2614.71. So total disbursements for that time period is $342,081.08. The closing balance on our Chase operating account as of November 7th was $166,676.37. Our Wells Fargo reserve account has $84,734.81, and our reserve CDs is at $2.750 million. So the total reserve cash is $2,834,734.81, and our total cash is $3,001,411.18. Can I get somebody to make a motion to accept and ratify this treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept that.
And a seconder?
Seconder Bob. Any questions on the treasurer's report from anyone? Okay, so we'll vote. Ron?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Marcel?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Okay, so it is unanimous to accept the treasurer's report. Thank you. And over to Steve for the manager's report.
Good evening. Welcome home to our seasonal residents. It's great to have you back, but you could have left the cold weather up north. That would have been preferable. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to report to the shareholders, and in that time a lot has transpired. We completed the renovation of this clubhouse social room, and as you can see, we have come a long way. I don't think anybody realized how tired this room was and how badly it needed a facelift. I think now anyone would be proud to host an event in this room. We removed and reinstalled all the ceiling tiles, the light fixtures, redesigned the layout of the ceiling grid, which in total brightened the room, and now it has a fresh and updated look. We added accent walls behind the stage here and recarpeted the stage and the entrance vestibule. We added much needed electrical outlets on the stage when we had none. The dark brown paint that was over where the pool tables are was repainted from the dark to its current color, and the walls were illuminated. All decorative moldings around the new doors and windows were replaced after making all the openings the same size for a modernized look. We replaced the old rotten wooden doors with commercial-grade storefront and reduced the number of entrance doors and windows for a better view and more light. We added exit signs and emergency lighting, added smoke detectors to the room for additional safety. Timers were placed in the restrooms so that lights do not burn 24/7, saving money on electricity. All of the thermostats in the building were changed, replacing those that were no longer functioning or did not properly control the temperature in the room. There's no more freezing here at 8 o'clock, which we could always count on in the past. We have cleaned up the exterior concrete around the clubhouse, including the pool deck, removing all the orange irrigation stains and painted the surface to clean and give it a clean appearance. This was done after repairing all the broken concrete on the walks, which were a trip hazard and a liability to the community. The iguana removal program has been highly successful in slowing down the growth of the population and nearly eliminated the creatures entirely. We continue to work with the contractor to ensure that the problem does not return to its prior level, although they are out there multiplying as we speak. Unfortunately, the iguana population in Florida is a continually growing problem, which will require constant addressing on our part. Our hard-fought battle with Palm Beach County to allow us to install pickleball courts was finally resolved, and that project was able to move forward. The failure to correct their files to reflect that we no longer had a water treatment plant forced us to jump through many hoops just to have an amenity added. The final outcome was that we received our permit to install the courts, and the work was completed. We now have a new amenity we can be very proud of, and it sure is beautiful. Our laundry room contract expired, and we negotiated a new contract where we now share in the revenues. Remodel of the facility helped us freshen it up and make it conducive to doing laundry. Now when guests visit, the amount of laundry outpaces the capacity of the machines we have in our homes. We can address the increased volume in a newly remodeled facility. We repaired the sagging ceiling, brought the room up to county code for fire protection, cleaned the dry vents which had not been touched in years, installed new lighting to brighten up the room, and installed a motion detector that senses when somebody's coming in so the lights don't burn 24/7, 365. We painted the room and installed a brand new floor prior to the new equipment being delivered and installed. This room is completely renovated and made inviting to do laundry, and it was done by our in-house staff. This was all done without increasing the cost per load. That was significant. We continue to have shareholders remodel their homes both on the interior and the exterior. Some homes are now having the shareholders remove the older homes and install brand new homes on their lots. That combined with many shareholders putting a new fresh look on the exterior of their existing homes, helping to make Jamaica Bay fight the normal aging process which challenges real estate values. Our entrance gates, which were damaged beyond repair, required complete replacement. After battling with the insurance company of the driver who destroyed the gates, we found that the original company that had started the repairs created additional electrical wiring damage that required new cables to power the gates. This project is also now complete and the gates are once again fully functional. We found that although we have no responsibility directly to maintain the Lake Worth Drainage District Canal that runs through our property, we are responsible for repairs to areas where the runoff water from our streets intersects the canal walls and dumps into the canals. We were forced to hire an engineering firm to examine the condition of all of those drainage pipes, as well as the culverts that are the access points where water enters the canal, and have them develop a scope of work to repair and restore the condition after over 50 years of continuous operation. As you can imagine, after 50 years, this infrastructure has outlived its life cycle and is in need of extensive repairs and replacement. We are now in the process of soliciting bids for the scope the engineer developed, and will work on funding this project. Recognizing the need for additional parking for recreational vehicles, we resurfaced the old RV parking lot for storage of boats and jet skis, and this area will now be an additional revenue source for our community, while allowing our shareholders to have a place to secure and house this type of vehicle close to their home at a reasonable rate. We are one of the few communities that offer this amenity. Remember, all this additional revenue helps hold down the monthly maintenance fee that you all pay. I would be remiss if I didn't single out our great staff that were involved in each and every one of these projects on various degrees. Their participation in each of these projects has saved the community thousands of dollars, and in many cases have made the difference in whether the project was undertaken or passed on because of the cost prohibitive. Mike's knowledge of construction work and project management came in very handy, along with Tony and Louie's assistance and willingness to do anything they were assigned, made it easy to accomplish all of those projects and required their input and their intervention. In addition, we are engaged in a project of replacing the majority of the electric meter pedestals in the community. Unfortunately, Florida Power and Light had specified various and multiple types of meter pedestals over the many years, which they place their meters on to record the usage and determine our bills. The pedestals belong to Jamaica Bay, thus our responsibility to replace when they go bad. Phase 1 was to replace all the pedestals made of concrete, which also had exterior water lines running through those pedestals next to the electrical lines. Everyone knows that water should never be anywhere near electric. We have completed almost all of the first phase, and now are moving on to replacing the next generation of pedestals that have internal component parts on their interior that wear out and cease working. The major challenge here is twofold. First, the cost of having the pedestals replaced is rising rapidly, and we were able to find a licensed electrician who did the replacements for half the cost of the contractor who was doing them. The other challenge is obtaining a permit for each, some taking up to 45 days, and then having to wait for FPL to schedule a date that they could come to the site and shut off the power to the home and restore the power that same afternoon. We found we could replace no more than 3 per week, and they were scheduling work as far out as 60 days in advance after receiving the permit. This is an ongoing project that will continue to move forward until completed. As of today, we have less than a dozen of that type left to replace, and we're on target to complete by the end of December. We've replaced over 200 of these pedestals to date. Our latest project is the replacement of the balance of the old streetlights with modern, updated LED fixtures. This project was slow coming because the cost to rent a lit was approximately $2,600 per week. On a good week, we may have been able to replace 3 to 5. Our solution was to purchase a bucket, which attaches to our Bobcat for $700, and we are now able to get to the heights we couldn't reach before and the high costs associated with renting equipment. The end result will be brighter street corners and more secure feeling at night. We also hope to reduce electric costs by using more efficient fixtures. In addition, this bucket now allows us to trim trees at elevated heights we never could reach before, and the net result, we hope, will be a reduction in the annual tree trimming costs. Okay, so to sum up, we have done the clubhouse ceiling with light fixtures, clubhouse HVAC upgrades, clubhouse stage and rear wall upgrade electrical, clubhouse windows and doors, pool deck repairs and resurfacing, annex rezoning, pickleball installation, exterior light fixtures, modern laundry facility, established RV parking lot, established the boat jet ski parking lot, the iguana removal project, negotiating a new laundry contract and remodeling the laundry room and instituting that program, and the new entry gates. And we're currently working on the canal runoff project, domestic water project, current system upgrades, rezoning Kingston lots for additional lots to sell, lining the interior of the existing sewer lines, and street light replacement. I would like to interject on a personal note, if I can, on this Veterans Day. I would like to express my personal thanks to all the men and women who gave selflessly and served both the United States and Canada in defense of our freedoms and in our liberty. And I think we owe all of our veterans a round of applause for their efforts. Lastly, we need to appreciate the direction and support given by each member of our board of directors. The planning, approval, and making available funds to accomplish these projects is what will keep Jamaica Bay from spiraling down as any Asian community is susceptible to. Recognizing the need to make funds available and supporting those efforts helps protect the aging infrastructure of the community and assures that the individual values of each home are maintained. All of these elements combined with the support from each shareholder is essential for keeping Jamaica Bay on the cutting edge and making sure it continues to be the great place to call home, be it seasonal or year-round. Most important and not to be overlooked is all the hard work that has been done without one single special assessment or need to implement huge increases in our monthly maintenance fees. If nothing else, the board deserves a great deal of credit for being able to accomplish this without placing the burden on those who are members. Personally, thank you for the opportunity to be part of what is being here, what is going on here on a daily basis. It gives me a great deal of personal pride to be part of such an effort, and the obvious level of success is being part of this team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. As I say to you at the end of each summer, what'd you do all summer? Seriously, I left last, I guess in the spring, with a significant list for them to do here after we discussed projects, and I said, this would be my wish list to come back to in October, November. And in August, they were pretty much done because that's how hard everyone worked, and I didn't think they'd even get close to the list, and we threw a couple of extra things in there. So between Steve's management and Mike's expertise and Louis and Tony, and I don't know if you've talked to any of them, but the guys have talked to me individually and said they have never been happier. They said there were things that they wanted to do for years in the community, and it was always, oh, next year, we're not going to increase the fees to do anything. And that is why we have so much to do now, because the infrastructure was neglected for so long. But they are so happy and proud of what they've accomplished this summer, and if you're talking to them, you'll see it. I mean, Louis was running me around the front gate. Just he couldn't wait to show me this flower and this tree and that light and what they changed, and they're very, very happy in their jobs. They said they feel like they're working as part of a family now, which is really great for them after the number of years they've been here. All right, on to business. So the first item on the agenda is we will do nominations and voting for the vacant director position. We've had 3 applications for that vacant board position. Wayne Diana, Stephen Labris, and Michael Small all put their names in, and I thank you to these 3 shareholders for putting their names forward for this position. As a reminder for everyone, this position will continue just through to the election in February, where everyone will be, whoever was up this year in this new position will be up for election at that time. So, can I ask for nominations from the board members for the vacant position, please?
I make a nomination for
Stephen Labris.
Do we have a seconder for Steve?
I will second that.
I'll second the
Mark.
question.
It's no time for questions now. Bob, seconder? Do we have any other nominations?
Yes, Wayne.
Okay. Ron nominates Wayne. Do we have a seconder for that?
No.
Is there a seconder for that nomination? All right, so that nomination will not carry. There is no seconder. We will, sorry, are there questions out here just?
I second the one that Mary mentioned.
Yeah, it's not,
We already have a second.
this is only a board vote on this one, so thank you, Elaine. Any other nominations? Okay, so we will go ahead and vote. The nomination on the floor is for Stephen Labris. Ron?
Do I have to vote for Steve?
Well, there is no seconder for
I have
Wayne.
to vote for Steve then.
I'm sorry.
It's no doubt.
Okay, sorry. You're a yes? You're a yes? Is that what you said? Okay. Mary?
Yes.
Marcel?
Yes.
And Bob?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell us who Steve is, a little bit about him?
Absolutely. You're going to meet him in 2 seconds here. Steve, so the vote is unanimous, so we can congratulate Steve, and actually now you're part of the board if you would like to come up and take a seat here. And we will, so while Steve's coming up here, he is an ex-Palm Beach County with the Sheriff's Department. He ran the program, I don't know if, well, most of you will remember, the green and white cars in all of the associations, the local volunteer security system that was in here. So he ran that in our area of Boynton Beach. Is there anything else here? Would you like to?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, like Joanne said, I did do COP volunteers. We had, those of you who are familiar with the program, we had, over 3,000 people in the program, stretched from Jupiter down to Boca Raton. We gave them cars and let them control their districts. I had to meet with a lot of boards. We would talk about crime prevention and stuff like that. And so I got to meet a lot of the directors of all the boards in Boynton, Boca, etc. And it was a good job, and I enjoyed it, and the people were great. And you realize that they were volunteers. They did it on their own time, never got paid, and that prior to that, I was working in the parks for the sheriff's office when he could patrol the parks. And it gave me, had to deal with people, which is very important because, in the parks you have homeless people. But I also worked in places like Ocean Ridge and Manalapan, where you were dealing with a different type of person. I'm sure you can understand. But the main thing is to treat everybody you meet with respect, and that's how you get ahead in the game. One example, very important, was we had to arrest one time a homeless person in John Prince Park. And we got him through jail, and he was throwing the biggest fit you've ever seen, that one of the deputies took his plastic comb, a little 15-cent plastic comb, and everybody's going, what, are you crazy? It's only, but to that person, that homeless person, that comb represented like a Bentley to these people living in Manalapan. And yeah, that's what you learn. You learn that, we're all people. We're going to have disagreements probably, but as long as we treat everybody with respect and listen, it's going to work out great. And we're going to have a great time. And I appreciate being here with this wonderful board, and we'll do the best we can. Thank you.
The other thing is Steve is a full-time resident all year, so he will be here all the time, and he may have a relative with Palm Beach County still, if we need. Anyway, so welcome, and we're going to throw you into it, but if there's anything you don't want to vote on that you haven't read or know about, then you absolutely abstain. We're not trying to get you to do anything you're not up to speed on. So the organizational meeting was posted along with this notice, and it will be Thursday morning in the office boardroom at 10. It's open, but we've been doing a lot of these. They're very quick meetings, and we'll certainly publish right away who the executive are as soon as we're finished. So, next item on the agenda is a violation, fining for violations. Again, remember, this has already been, when they get to this point, they've been through quite a process, and they have been checked as recently as right before the meeting tonight to make sure that they are still outstanding. There will be a change coming when you get, there has been a change in legislation now, so we will have the same process where they'll go to a hearing committee, but there also is an extension now where they still get 90 days after the hearing, after the fining happens, to correct it before the fine goes in place. So start to finish, there's a minimum of 6 months between when you first hear that you have a violation, and so we will be following. We don't have to as a co-op yet, but it'll be coming, so we will be putting those rules in place. You'll see when we do the next amendment. All right, so we have fines for weeds for 54014 Chapella, 47009 Aquadia, 52008 Florinata, 16001 Fontaine, 39011 Gale, 39016 Gale, and 2 fines for 34001 Baez. One is for weeds and one is for carport storage. Can we get a motion to approve those fines as read for the 7 addresses, please?
I will make a motion.
Put those fines in place.
Can we have a seconder for the fines?
I will second that.
Oh, was that Marcel?
Yes.
Marcel's the second. Was that you, Marcel?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. Sure. Seconder is Marcel. So we will, any questions on those fines from anyone? Sorry, Steve?
Yeah, I thought we weren't going to be talking about fines tonight. That's what the email said that you sent out? No. Okay, well, how come that house on Del Rio never got a violation when they had all that stuff in the back of the house for months? I didn't see that being written up about it.
How do you know it didn't get a violation? These are fines. These are people who've been through many, many, many violations
So
already.
you're worried more about the weeds than when they had all that stuff back there.
Well, you don't know what happened then, right? You're assuming.
I'm not assuming anything. When that roof was up in the air,
Yeah.
that was a hazard.
Absolutely.
It went to Gateway Boulevard and caused accidents. That wasn't taken care of right away.
Well, because it got reported and it couldn't be because that's my house, so we're welcome to talk about it. Can we just get through these fines and then we'll address it right away? Okay? Yeah.
Oh, but how come you didn't get a violation?
How do you know it? You don't know. You have no
Did you
idea.
get one?
Yeah, you have
Now
no
in the
idea.
streets now that are getting violations, but we never heard.
Steve, can we
Your
bring
house get one.
this up at the end so we can explain it? But
Just wanted to bring it up.
okay. we absolutely can talk about it at the end, okay?
Were all those fines about weeds?
Sorry?
Were all the fines about weeds?
Yeah, the one on Baez has one for weeds and one for cardboard storage. Okay? All right, so we will vote on that. Ron?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Steve? Marcel?
Yes.
And Bob?
Yes.
All right. The next item is that we have to put this in the minutes when the board reviews. There's a committee that reviews new shareholder applications, and there were 2 applications that were turned down. One was for 39019 Gale Bay, and another one for 33002 Azua. We don't get into any details about why they were turned down, but they are minuted as applications that were reviewed by the committee on the board and turned down as a shareholder application. The next item is office reorganization. So for a while, there has been far too much support needed in the office, mainly from board volunteers, to accomplish what is required every single day in the office. And mainly that's because we have so many projects on the go that Steve is consumed with the property management stuff, and we there's that many more things that still are not getting done in the office. We have an admin person, and we have somebody who did the books only. So a few months ago, our bookkeeper, Rosa, resigned, but she wasn't leaving till November 21st to move to another city. So we hired another bookkeeper just to do the bookkeeping again to replace her. But unfortunately, we hired somebody, as happens in the marketplace, their references and resume oversold her, so she was terminated after 3 weeks because she wasn't able to do the job. So knowing that we're going through this and training them on PHOA every time, it gave us an opportunity to look at something else to do. And that was that we decided to outsource the basic bookkeeping to PHOA. So they have a bookkeeping source. We already have all of our accounts on the PHOA system that we use for everything. And we don't need to hire an in-staff person only to do books. We're actually saving 1/3 of the price on the bookkeeping by doing this. But it did give us an opportunity to look at the entire structure so we don't keep running into the same issue. So along with bookkeeping being done, we've also hired an office manager to take over the overall responsibilities of the office activities. So for any of you that kind of know the old days, this was sort of the Carol kind of job that was in there. So we were having it as just a strictly accounting person, trying to keep the funds down and everything. But the shareholders were not paying for the amount of work that was being done in that office because there are many, many people working full-time with no pay to get the day-to-day operations done. So that is bad for a lot of reasons. One of them is you never know who's going to get elected year to year, and if your entire board is flipping over like it could this year, you're left with nobody to handle the office and no training, nothing. So we have to make sure that we are succession planning safe for that as well. So that's why we're restructuring in there to structure it properly to handle all the day-to-day work. So we have hired an office manager. She started, I guess this is her 3rd week. And so far everything is going very well with her. Her name is Tanisha Rollins, so you will be running into her soon. We've been getting her up to speed. What happened was Rosa, although she was leaving late, she just decided to stop coming to work. So again, this made it more obvious that we have nobody to do because all of a sudden I was the bookkeeper with no training on how to use the system. So that wasn't good. So this will allow Steve to focus on all the property management activities. So with the projects we've got coming up, there's a lot of stuff happening and it takes a lot of focus. For years, the property manager didn't do any projects in here, so it made the job a lot easier. So, but we have a lot going on. He's talking to lawyers, construction people, getting quotes. So now he can focus on the property. So he will continue to have the maintenance staff and the gatehouse report in through him. Donna on the front will report directly to the new office manager, Tanisha, and Tanisha will report both to the property manager and to the president/board, depending on which task it is that she's working on. So she will be doing a lot of different things. So given the improvement we've noticed over the last couple of weeks, we think this will better handle the workload, but it does come with an increase in the admin salary line, which we will address when we do the budget discussions next month. So that is one of the things that will increase, but frankly, it should have increased 4 years ago and didn't. So we are going to have to handle it and make sure we're succession planning proof, so there isn't a dip when there's a major turnover either in staff or board members. And more details will follow when we get to the budget on that, but we just wanted to bring everybody up to speed since we're a little hesitant since the last plan didn't work out. We had to terminate before we barely got her announced, so this one looks more promising, right? And the 2026 budget will be presented next week, or not next week, sorry, next month, the December meeting. It will be mailed out well in advance of that, probably, hopefully next week. And again, just to reiterate, most of you were probably there last night, but there will be no increase in the budget due to the water project. There will be increases, and I think we've been discussing this for a long time because we alerted you as soon as we knew that there were issues, but we are experiencing significant increase in legal fees this year. And we have a huge increase in water usage due to the leaks and losses. So we are currently about $80,000 over our budget in 2025. That was totally unexpected. So there will be an increase for water, and now I've just mentioned there will be an increase in the salary admin line. There's lots of ups and downs. We've negotiated some great insurance rates, and that actually is the lowest it's been since I started in 2022. So we're working on keeping things very consistent. We've also talked to 2 of our contractors, the pools and somebody else, I forgot which one, who are not going to give us an increase next year. And we always shop around this time to see if there's anything better. So lots of things are holding steady. So, but there will be an increase, just not to the water project. So. Property appraisal, we have completed the property appraisal that we needed to do for the SRF loan. I think as I spoke last night, we're hoping that we're trying now to speak to them and see if there's a way with some ideas that we've got to not even have to put any of the property up as collateral. But we've had an appraisal, and that's a good thing to have. It's like an inch thick, and it'll be posted in the documents. But just as an overview of what that appraisal was, the land value is $84,500,000. It was purchased for $9 million, so way back in the day. That is $112,218 per unit currently. When you take the land and any buildings and other assets we have, it's about another $3 million, so $87,500. So $116,000 per unit. And that's based on our 753 allowable shares right now. So nothing that you want to cash in on and you know, spend your retirement on, but it's a good thing to know. The property appraisals tend to be conservative. They don't want to overestimate, and then if you come back to them, it's not worth that much. So that is a conservative value that we would use if we needed to go for a loan for anything. So that will be put online, and anybody can review any of the work that they've done on that. But it is secured was our requirement for the SRF financial application. Probably something that is good for us to know anyway what the land value is. Next item, I just want to do a town hall meeting summary. How many people were actually there last night, so I know how much I should talk? Okay, most. So I'll try to keep it brief then. So we were joined by the utilities director of the city, the deputy director of utilities, as well as our engineer that's been hired for phase 1, Daniel Magro, and they were all here last night to answer all of the questions. When we left the room, there were no more questions that anybody had, so I have circulated both the opening and closing notes today. And hopefully the video will be out shortly so people can get the middle portion that has the questions. And we have actually, since there's been communication about putting the water project on the ballot, we have had an unusual number of shareholders come to us and tell us that is wrong to do. when it's not required. So as there were so many shareholders saying it should absolutely not be on the ballot, we did go to our legal counsel and got their advice, and their opinion is that this should not be on a membership voting item unless it's for information only. So I am reneging on the statement that I did make, that we would follow that. I have not checked. It had not even occurred to me that anybody would have a problem with that, but much more people have a problem with it going on the ballot than requested it. So we will be following the advice from our lawyers, as we always do, and we will reverse the plan to put the water project on the ballot in February. All right. Ratification of the signing of the design phase contract. It's something, the first design phase had been approved, and we had to get, I think as anybody heard last night, there was a very tight deadline for getting this next phase done in time. We had to have it done by June to have it submitted for preliminary review, or even May, so that we get our result in August. And the reason, just to reiterate again, we always want to be front and center for August. It's the largest allocation of funds. There's another opportunity in February, but it depends if they have any funds at that time. So you want to be there when they've got their full budgets for our allocation. So we definitely want to have the next one in, and to see what we do get in terms of grant and loan for that next phase. So we will know and have more information on what the cost of it is. Right now, in the last one, we have estimated at $13 million, but we will have more direct information on that. And the first phase, well, we have the $970,000 is what we've been allocated as a loan with 50% in grant. It looks like we're going to come in. We always estimate high, assuming you're not going to get it all, and then we got it all. So it looks like the contract that we have signed and we will ratify tonight is for $697,000, not $900,000. Now there will be a few more things. We are able to put the cost of we think we're able to put the cost of the property appraisal in, and some of the expenses that we paid. Anything we've paid since August 13th, which was the day we were approved. So anything related to this project, we will write off and get reimbursed on the funds. They will be sitting in our books on a separate account saying SRF in the reserve section, but you'll see the expenses will go in there, and then when we get reimbursed, they'll come back out and we'll get the money all back, except for whatever the leftover loan portion is. So what we do need to do is have a motion to ratify the design phase contract to A-Plus Engineering, which is Daniel Magros, the company that he's with, for the design phase. We have signed it, but we do need to ratify it. Could I have a motion to ratify the A-Plus Engineering contract?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Bob made the motion. Seconded? Ron seconding. Any questions from anyone on that agreement? Again, it'll be posted. It's it's a longer agreement as well, but lots of details in there for you to be able to review probably tomorrow morning. Okay, so we will vote. Ron?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Okay. Marcel?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And it is unanimous vote. Okay. Just a brief update on prospectus amendments. So we did work on those all summer. I think 2 shareholders maybe came back to us with a couple of suggestions. We were hoping we would get lots of information in. The rest we came up with, they have been with our lawyer to review for the last few weeks. We're hoping to get their review back in the next 2 weeks, I think. And then they will go out in a red line version to the entire community to see all of the changes. So everything will be highlighted that has been changed since the version when we became a not-for-profit. So that will be all reviewed. It will go to, depending if it comes out in the next 2 weeks, it will go up. You need 14 days to have the amendments to review. Certainly during that time, if questions come up, you can send them to the board email and we will answer them. but we will be voting on it whatever the next board meeting is, the 14 days after the notes go out. Okay, so just so you know the status, we're a ways from being able to publish a final version right now, but it will be out for review. Yes?
Who's voting on it? Board again?
Yes. Yeah. But shareholders have full input once they review it.
Board votes on it.
That it's never been a shareholder vote. That's all in the, yep. Any other questions on the amendments? Okay. Another item was brought to the board's attention. Just as a reminder, Jamaica Bay is a non-denominational and non-political community, and we are bound by the rules of the Fair Housing Act. It was brought to our attention from several people that it was decided at the last social committee meeting that Happy Holidays will now be changed to Merry Christmas only. Unfortunately, that cannot happen for whoever decided that. No one on the social committee has the authority to be able to make those kinds of changes. We are open to whatever anyone celebrates in terms of the manner that they choose, and we are not any kind of religious denomination run. So that won't happen for those people who have come in and been concerned about that. Also, as a reminder, as we're coming up to election time, internally or whether it's externally in the U.S. government, we are not political in here, and no signs or messages are put on homes or on the Jamaica Bay Facebook page. You can do whatever you want on your private pages, but nothing will be posted on anything that's officially a Jamaica Bay page. And this deals with anything political. And it's only to protect the community, because we don't need there's enough going on outside these gates that we don't need to be having these kind of disagreements put in front of everybody's face within the community. We try to keep it as a bit of a safe haven, but and we want to do the best we can, but that is nothing new. It has always been that way. So just make sure that everybody knows, because everybody says, I didn't know. Everybody knows it is a non-political community and no publicizing of anything political, internal or external. Okay?
What's publicizing? Does that mean like
Posting a sign on your house,
That's just it?
Or-
No signs
or-
on the house?
or putting a message.
Do you wear your own personal T-shirt or anything?
Oh, yeah.
like that? Right, okay.
No, this is just, sort of plastering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the last meeting when they asked what they meant for the Merry Christmas. And the people that were there, obviously, there were white people, black people, Christians, Jewish people, and they didn't have a problem with it. Why do we have a problem with it now?
Well, I don't know who was in the room, but we have had lots of problems since that. I wasn't at the meeting, but we've heard about it a lot. So, and it came up a couple of years ago, and it was a big issue where I think.
Prayer a couple of years ago wasn't about knowing the name.
Can I just finish?
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so it was an issue about saying a Christian prayer at every social meeting, and that was stopped. This is very similar to what the people have said, so I'm not going to say who has been in, but we have had many, it's hard in a group. Somebody might not say that, but maybe they don't feel that way, but they don't want to say it in front of everybody. But this has never been a specific religion community, so it is open to everybody, and we do follow the Fair Housing Act, which is open to everyone.
Obviously,
So there's no prayer
the
allowed?
Veterans Day, we're all sitting there, so go ahead.
Pardon?
Today's Veterans Day, and we're sitting there in meetings.
I don't know what you're saying.
I said it's Veterans Day, we shouldn't be doing a meeting, we shouldn't be having it.
Okay. Then go ahead. Okay, go ahead and do whatever you should be doing. You don't need to be at this meeting. Yes.
Do I understand that you're not allowing prayer before anything? Is that what you said? Or
You can't do a prayer in a social event.
I'm out of here.
Sorry.
What you can do, and what they were starting to do a year or two ago when that came up, was that you can take a moment of silence and everybody can bow their head and say their own prayer and give everybody the opportunity to do that. But for somebody to say one kind of prayer out, addressing for everybody, some people take offense to that, some people have their own prayers. So to keep the community as an open community, that's the best way to handle it.
I agree with you, but that's what you're trying to do. About calling it Christmas versus a holiday.
Well, it's the same idea.
Christmas is absolutely right.
It's the same.
Not to take prayers off the people. I agree.
Okay, I think,
But it's the same thing.
Does that mean like at the veterans thing today, we shouldn't have had that prayer?
I don't know, was it a Christian-only prayer?
A
No.
veteran's prayer.
It was a veteran's prayer, sorry.
It's non-denominational.
As long as it's non-denominational, and it was, then that's fine, okay? Yes,
Can we still call it a Christmas tree?
Yes.
yeah, it's just,
And we still have a menorah.
Joanne, I'm just checking.
well, we don't want to offend anybody according to the Fair Housing Act, so it should not be publicized. Yeah, we can have it all, we just can't only have one.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Can we just get back? So one other item, and then we will. Sorry, let's get back
I'm
there.
for dictatorship and I don't like the sound of it. That's all.
What's that?
There is no dictatorship.
People was talking about it and I don't like it.
Who's a dictator?
Joe,
Oh, they've been calling me that for years.
they do it.
And it's not me deciding, and I'm sorry. We listen to the shareholders that come in.
I know we have to, but
Yeah.
it's pretty sad.
Okay, it is sad, but let's move on. Okay, we will be having a focus group meeting probably this Saturday for shareholders. We've done it before where we do a preliminary run-through with a group of people as a focus group just to talk through some key points. We often will change something in the budget after that. We'll send out a note tomorrow, probably in the next 2 days, and we'll take about 20 people. People can tell if they're interested. Please, only one shareholder per share. So we get 20 different opinions and that. So just watch if you would be interested in spending an hour on Saturday morning going through some things and sharing some feedback and comments with other people in the community. Then please then just respond to the email when it goes out and say I'd be interested. So, all right. Again, just one person per share, so we get some varying opinions. And I think that's it for the official part. Anybody else on the board have any issues? Or we will adjourn and move on to some open questions. Yes, can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Mary, and seconded?
Second.
Second by Ron. Let's just show hands here. Wait, just Marcel, are you you're good with adjourning now, the main part of the meeting? Marcel?
Yeah, I'm still here.
The rest of us can adjourn if there's enough
I'm still
of us
here.
here. Just show of hands if you will adjourn the meeting, and we'll move to
And yes.
to some discussion at the podium. If anybody has anything, I would love the dictator person to come and have a chat if they would like to. We would no. So just the rules for this. So if it is something you're complaining about your neighbor, or you've got an individual problem in your home, and you have not gone to the office, we're not going to get into that here. This is a place if you have not got satisfaction from going to the office. So please make it something that everybody is interested, or it involves everyone in the room if there are questions. Okay.
My name is Lori Robbins. Hello?
Yeah.
I live at 1016 Andros Bay. I just have a couple things I've always thought about.
Sorry, you might have to set the side.
Oh.
You gotta go right on. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Any better?
Don't turn your head.
Okay. I wanted to know how much extra income has been brought in since we've sold a lot of the properties and put new houses on. That's like an extra $250 a month that has come in, and I know that we've sold just about all the land. And also, how much money has been saved by the taxes, because now those new homeowners are paying their own taxes, so we're not paying on that land.
Correct.
And also, I was curious as to why we didn't get a handicap door put in somewhere while the new doors were going in.
Yes.
Because we have to open the door for people with walkers and stuff.
I know, at that time, it was cost, it was about,
At that time, it was cost. We did discuss it at a board a meeting here, and it was about $10,000 for one button. So we looked at it at the time, and it was decided that we would not do it at that point. So understand, but it was just based on cost for $10,000. Okay.
So what about the other?
well, I don't
Find
have that.
out.
Yeah, I kind of don't have it on the top of my head. So you want, so how much money has, we can give you how much money is
Yeah,
in
how much
shares?
generate?
We can give you the 250 times, I've got it all in the office, but not here. And also, on an empty lot, it's about $600, $670 a year. So for everyone, if we sell 10, that's 6,000. If we sold 20, it's, so. Since we started selling lots, since 22.
So
Is that what you want?
where does that money go?
Well,
Where does it go into?
So the 250 a month goes into the assessment revenue line. The tax money, we don't pay it, so it's less expense for us. And the $44,009 for each lot got us from $600,000 up to the $3 million we currently have. But it's easy to quantify. It's all in the office, so we can report back, and I'll send out a note on that. Okay. If anybody has some questions and wants to come and land.
I have a comment to make, and then I also have a question. Cheryl, the previous social chair, asked for 2 years for somebody to take over the social committee, and nobody would. So I stepped forward, and the very first time I have a meeting, you're finding fault with what I said at the meeting. I mean, what kind of, how does that set me to do anything if you're going to criticize what I do?
Okay, well, I didn't know who had made the comment, so I wasn't criticizing. Okay, well, you've said that now. So, but it wouldn't matter if we have a bunch of shareholders come in that may not be a Merry Christmas celebration religion. Of course, we have to be non-denominational. Or it's got to be a banner with every single holiday that could potentially impact everyone. So.
But it is a Christian holiday. It's a Christian holiday.
That one is, but there are also lots of other religious holidays around the same time.
We're not asking the Jewish people to change the word Passover. Why can't we say the word Christmas?
You can say the word Christmas, but it's just not a Christmas party. And maybe there's some reading that you can do to get yourself up to speed. We're just because with all the lawsuits right now, the last thing we need is a housing one as well.
Now you're saying I'm not up to speed on things. Well, then I really shouldn't be a social chair then if I'm not up to speed on things.
So Rita, what's happening here is we're not questioning what you've done. We're not criticizing what you've done. What's happening is we are dealing with situations that are brought to our attention. So if anybody brings something to our attention and we don't address it, then we're not doing our job. But now that we're addressing things, and now we're in trouble too. So it's kind of a catch-22. All we're doing is reporting what we hear. We're not criticizing, we're talking about the situation. So we can have a holiday season. You can say Merry Christmas to your friends, and somebody else can say Happy Hanukkah to somebody else. Everybody is free to do that. But as a community, we need to be kind of a generic, I guess is an easy way to say it. We need to be, there's Christians in all different denominations, but we can't just say this is the only thing that we're going to say. We had complaints that the menorah was pushed back in a corner and the Christmas tree was brought forward. We have to address them. We're looking at the community. We have to be fair to everybody in the community. So don't take it personally, because we're not targeting you personally. It came from the social committee. You happen to be representing the social committee, and that's great. Thank you for stepping up. The social committee needs people to do these things, and we appreciate that. But don't take these things personally. We have to address what we're being given.
Okay, my question is, you mentioned that we can only do non-denominational prayer. What's a non-denominational prayer? How can you tell me what that is?
Apparently, the one from the veterans is with non-denominational.
I did that prayer, and I mentioned Jesus, and I mentioned God. So how is that non-denominational?
Okay, I'm not an expert in all of this, but we have to make sure that we are
So you're
not.
saying you're not up to speed on things now?
Oh my goodness, Rita, come on.
Okay,
Let's move on.
somebody come here. Come to this, you come like everybody else. Wait, Linda, you're up next. Okay. Don't stop.
Hi, my name is Sebastian. Okay. You know what? The board of directors always say, if you have a problem, go to the office to talk to Steve, correct? Instead of going to all the board members and making hosted office. Why don't we use the same thing for people that are complaining about the RO? Why don't you go to the RO committee instead of making such a big deal out of this? Instead of having this, we know who's saying this, we don't know who's saying this. Let's do like we say with the board of directors. Go to the source. You don't have to bring it all out and see how many people are. There may be 1 or 2 people that don't like this. That's all I'm asking. Please, would you do that? Well, no, just say what I'm saying. You tell people if you got a problem, personally go to Steve. The same thing with the RO. Go to the RO board. Don't go to the board of directors and say something. Go to the RO board. That's all I'm saying.
But we can't limit residents to just go to the RO. We can't
Right.
tell them. They're talking about their personal concerns. And
Yeah,
they're-
personal concerns are brought up in public and other things with this board and any other board, so we
Right.
can't go there.
But you're going, that are going on the properties and stuff like that have to go to the office.
It's
Okay?
not a property, it's a matter of opinions, and obviously, if you're talking to someone that wants to do something, and I stood at the RO meeting, and it was everybody there, all denominations, nobody said nothing, everybody said yes. So now I agree, okay, if they say something to you, we don't have to burden the board of directors with this stuff. Go to the RO board and talk to them, that's what I'm saying.
The only thing is the RO board doesn't have authority in the community. So it is an organization, a legal organization. Yes, yes, that's right. So, good idea as a first starting point. Sorry, Linda.
Okay. Linda Boyle, Chapella Bay. I have a few questions and comments. First of all, when the pickleball court was done, did anybody check with the USA pickleball rulebook to say which way it should be?
Yeah, we know it's beneficial to go the other way, but when we don't have space to go the other way, there's not much of an option to get to fit in.
Well, only because it says it's a safety hazard, a common safety hazard.
Yeah, but tennis has been played in either way forever.
I know. I
So,
play pickleball, so
yeah, I don't think it's a safety hazard. If we had the space, that's absolutely the way to go.
my personal opinion, I think the lights out front should stay up all year on those trees.
That's what's happening.
Beautiful.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay, another thing was, and I agree with, when these doors are put in, there has to be a handicap door. And according to not only the FHA, but ADA regulations, you need to have a door that is very easily opened by anybody who is in a wheelchair, a walker, elderly. It doesn't matter what their situation is. We're all going to be there someday. And if I'm in a wheelchair or a walker, I want to be able to get in a door, going up a ramp that's not going to trip me going in or out. And the ramp is not really good going out that door either. It's supposed to be like 1 inch per foot. Incline, decline, whatever you call it. But the doors should be addressed. There should be a push-button door on one of these doors. Partnership is deep. And the other thing that has not been addressed since last spring is having this gate, the main gate over here, done with a lock for the emergency vehicles to come in.
Really challenging.
Something's supposed to have been done, some kind of, what's it called?
Yeah,
Locks or a padlock that's supposed to give them access to get in quickly. That incident on the over 80s party that was here, and the woman fell out the door and hurt herself. Rescue came up to the front, had no way to get in. Somebody had to come in from in here, out that back door, to let them in with the gurney to bring through here. And that was a feat.
Thank you, we'll definitely.
I mean, that has to get done. They've got to have access to get that gate open. Okay, so that was the other thing I was going to say. When these doors and windows were done, I'm sure permits were gotten from contractors, correct? Did they abide by ADA regulations?
These were all permitted and all inspected and all passed by Palm Beach County and the fire department to meet all the requirements that are required for a building such as this.
Right, but with this being an over 55 co-op community, they have to abide by ADA regulations, not just FHA.
And you're an authority on that, so.
No, but the
So
internet is.
I'm not. All I know is that we applied for a permit, we received the permit, there were multiple inspections as this work was being done.
All right.
We passed all of that, so evidently, either the county is wrong by passing on our permit, or you would be in error.
No, it's not being right or wrong, it's, did they follow ADA regulations?
They follow county regulations. ADA is federal regulations. And federal regulations and county regulations work together. So I assume the county would have never passed any of this.
I wouldn't assume.
Well,
I'm not sure, because it's private property, this ADA is required the same as.
It is in common areas.
I don't know.
In common areas, yeah, it is.
No, not private.
So the other issue was the having, because there were a couple of times when people got stuck in the ladies' room. Hardly anybody around out here, not being able to get out. You can't, there's no, like alarm or anything, like if you're disabled, like you're in a hospital or something. There's always like a pull chain to alert for an alarm or something. There was a little girl, she was only about 8 years old in there. She was screaming for her mother.
where was the mother?
Out in the pool.
Well, then the mother should be forced with.
The girl was old enough to be in the bathroom on her own. But that's not so much the point I was bringing up. It was
This
the,
is a community facility. We're not to be babysitters. If a mother is so inconsiderate of her
well,
own
she
child,
went in there after the girl didn't come out for about 10 minutes.
God bless her, she figured out something about
Well,
it.
I'm just telling you what's going on. And another issue is the health and safety of exercise equipment being in the bathrooms. I get it's used on your own risk, but that's another safety issue. If there's nobody around and you have somebody using one of those pieces of equipment,
No, it's you can be everything, and I don't plan on quitting now.
into the pool. Yeah, but then there's probably at least people
Not
around.
necessarily. There's no liability, all of it is published. We check all of this. So yes, we could be like Fort Knox here.
I'm just an actor.
No, but it's also
We don't know how to help people.
disgusting things
It's a chance
because
of
of
people
one
who need.
matter that travels in a bathroom.
Then I wouldn't use it. Don't use it. No, honestly, people want it, then you shouldn't have it.
What about moving it to where it was going to be in the ping pong room?
Well, because there were all sorts of issues with that. But certainly, you know what would be really helpful, Linda, if you've got the information that you've gotten off the internet, If you could bring that into the office,
will.
we can certainly look into
Sure.
it. Yeah, it's
I
just, we don't have anything to discuss here, so,
Okay.
you know, if you could get that to us, that would be great.
Absolutely, I'll copy it and bring it
And I'll
over.
definitely get on the knockbox for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely an issue.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Alan Lamper, Granada. The community.
You're very electric.
The community's already taken a vote towards the first phase of the water phase, and the community voted all in favor of having that move forward. And we were also, as you were, under the impression that in February we'd be able to have a binding vote for the water problem. How does the community now have a vote as to if a new board comes in and decides that the water is not an issue and doesn't want to move forward with it? Has the current board placed anything in place to make or create a situation for the water project to move forward?
Yeah, we are talking to the lawyers since they've come up with, we've been talking to them here. We will have something in place. I can't tell you what that looks like right now, but once we get rolling on this, we don't want to have it flip-flopping back and forth, for sure. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
My suggestion would be to vote, have your friends vote for the people who are aligned with the project. That would be controlling the votes. No, you're not controlling. You're not controlling, you're encouraging how people should vote. People vote with a similar mind.
If anybody else, could you come and line up, and because then we can wrap up. I think there aren't too many more questions.
All the tall people.
Yeah. Just as far as the ADA Act, to my knowledge, is if everything in the community was geared towards the ADA, like a seat to get in the pool, everything handicapped, then that would mean we would have to only have 55 and older living here. But because we're not with the ADA Act, the board or whoever has the discretion to put in what they want to put in to help with the handicap. And also, the rule is at 80-20, 55 years old, 80, and to the discretion of age under 55 to be able to live with someone who's 55. So.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thanks, Laura. Anybody else? Questions? The dictator person doesn't want to have a chat?
Oh, don't.
Well, seriously, I mean, it's one thing, Sue, to sit and throw negativity out of the back. We're happy to have a conversation. I am happy to have a conversation. So, yep. I think it's cowardly to sit in the back and yell names. I think we're a little bit older than that. No other questions?
I just have Sue Lauder, Captiva Bay. What? You just hired a new. Sorry, Sue. You just hired a new office manager. What are the responsibilities of Donna and the office manager? So if we have questions, we know who to go to.
So you go to Donna no matter what as the intake person. So same thing, you go to reception. If it's for someone else, Donna can then direct you.
But what would the new office manager, what are her responsibilities?
Yeah, we've got a whole job description. If you want to request it, I can get you that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
The engineering firm that we hired, are we going to keep them through the whole project?
Each section is bid on. We did
With
not.
engineers or the work? Are you going to keep the
Everything.
same engineer?
It depends. It depends. But right now, he was the one with the lowest bid.
Would
And we
a new engineer company came in if they were cheaper, have to go through the whole thing again?
Absolutely not.
How would
pick
they
up-
not do that? They're not
Because everything is documented and reported as it goes. But we have no reason to think that anybody will change here, because he is the best and he gets the best results
So
from SRF.
basically, you're looking to stay with him, is what you're looking to do. If his
SRF
numbers are right.
SRF
If
requires.
his numbers are right.
If his numbers are right,
you will stay with
he's
him.
excellent. We'd be
Thank
crazy
you.
not
That's
to.
what I want to know.
Anything else? Okay, thanks everyone.